Hey there tech fans, Rick here again from the O-Ray team with an overview of the EX-150C HDMI extension kit. This product was engineered to make it incredibly easy for you to share any of your HDMI media content with a second remote location up to 50 meters away in 4K resolution or up to 60 meters away in 1080p resolution over a single Cat6 LAN cable. The product includes infrared blaster kits that will collect up the remote control signals from that secondary location and pass those back over the same LAN connection to the primary location where they're rebroadcast, which allows you to remotely control the content you're watching. The solution also provides the very latest in power over cable technology, which means a single power supply plugged in at the receiver end or the transmitter end is all you'll need to operate the entire solution, because the power required for both modules is sent across that same LAN connection, which greatly simplifies your wiring. Now, as part of this overview, I'd like to start with an unboxing just to show you all the components that are included with the kit, and then I'll take a closer look at both of the modules and explain the connections and indicators. I'll list the features and functions the product provides, and then finally I'll come back and actually demonstrate just how easy this product will be to use with your own equipment. So let's jump into the unboxing. When you open up the box, you'll find the transmitter module and the receiver module, a set of infrared blasters for both of those modules, and they're exactly the same, but these two modules are different. One has got a smaller head, one has a larger head. The smaller head is the transmitter, the larger head is the receiver, so it's important you plug those into the right ports. The transmitter plugs into the infrared out, and the receiver plugs into the infrared in. You'll also find a 12-volt 1-amp power supply. This you can plug into any standard wall outlet. The other end has a barrel connection with a locking collar on it, which again you can plug into the receiver or the transmitter, and that's all the power you'll need for the entire solution. Also included is a warranty card and a full instruction manual that lists specifications, connection diagrams, and other really important information about the solution that you'll need to understand to use it properly. Now, if you stay tuned next, I'll take a closer look at both of the modules, list the features, and then I'll come back and do the demonstration. Inside the kit, you'll find a transmitter module and a receiver module. Both of these feature full metal enclosures, which make them incredibly durable. I'll start with the transmitter module. On either side, you'll find slots that are there for ventilation. They allow any heat that develops during operation to escape and keep the electronics inside at a very comfortable temperature. On the bottom are mounting holes that can be used with the included bracketing kit to mount this up off the ground and out of the way. On the one end of the module, you'll find a LAN port, and that's used for the connection cable between the transmitter and the receiver. That has to be a Cat6 or higher quality cable. To the right of that are two LED indicators, power and link. When you add power to the module, it starts an internal power on self-test. When it passes that test, it'll light the power indicator, letting you know it's ready to use. The link indicator lets you know you have a valid connection between the transmitter and the receiver over the LAN cable, and also the data is being transferred between the two. Under normal operation, both of these LEDs on both modules will be on. To the right of that is a DC input port, and that's used with the included power supply. You'll simply plug that power supply into any standard wall outlet. The other end has a barrel connection on it, which you'll plug in here and tighten the collar so it stays in securely. Because this solution uses power over cable technology, you can plug that power supply into the transmitter or the receiver, and the power required for both of the modules is sent over the connection cable. On the other end of the module, you'll find two infrared blaster ports, and you'll use, in this case it's a transmitter, you use the smaller infrared blaster plugged into the infrared out, the larger one plugs into the infrared in. To the right of that is a full-sized HDMI port. That's connected to any media device you'd like to share the content from with the remote location, standard HDMI connection. On the receiver, very similar ventilations on the sides, mounting holes on the bottom for the bracketing kit. On the one end, again, there's a LAN port. That's for the other end of the cable from the transmitter. You'll plug it right in there. Same two indicators, power and link. Again, another DC power input port. You can use this one or use the one in the transmitter, totally up to you. On the other end, you'll find two more infrared blaster ports. Because this is the receiver, make sure you plug the larger one into the infrared in and the smaller one into the infrared out. And finally, a full-sized HDMI port right there, and that connects to whatever monitor you'd like to enjoy the content on at that remote location. Standard HDMI connection there. That's pretty much it for the two modules. The O-Ray EX-150C is compatible with a wide variety of HDMI media sources, including streaming devices like Apple TV, game consoles, media players, laptops, and DVD players. The product's features include full support of 4K ultra-high definition media content. You can extend the remote location up to 50 meters away for 4K content and up to 60 meters away for 1080p content. It is both HDMI 1.4 and HDCP 2.2 compliant. It provides power over cable technology to greatly simplify your wiring, and includes an infrared blaster kit for total playback control. Now I'll show you the connections you'll need to make to use the EX-150C HDMI extension kit with your own equipment. And for this demonstration, over here I've set up a small media player that's currently looping a video on this monitor, and that's the content I'd like to share with my remote location. This represents the primary site where you're currently enjoying that content. Over here I've set up a second monitor that represents the remote location where I'd like to enjoy the content from the primary site. These can be up to 50 meters apart for 4K content and up to 60 meters apart for 1080p content. In front of me, I have the transmitter module here and the receiver module here. Now the first connection I'll make is to the transmitter module, and I'll start by disconnecting my media source from the monitor. It's a standard HDMI connection, and I'll plug that into the HDMI input port on the transmitter. Now I'm ready to connect up the receiver. I have a second HDMI cable connected to this monitor, and I'll plug that into the HDMI output port on the receiver module. Now I'm ready to connect my LAN cable between the two, and again, it has to be a Cat6 cable or higher quality. I always recommend using the best quality cable you can, just in case you decide to upgrade the resolution of the media content later on, or extend the distance between these two modules. Now for this demonstration, I have a Cat6 cable right here, and I'll connect that up to the LAN port on the transmitter, and then the LAN port on the receiver. Now I'm ready to add power, and again, because this solution uses power over cable technology, I can plug the power supply in on the receiver end or the transmitter end, and all the power required for the solution is shared across that LAN cable. I've already plugged the power supply in here, so I'll plug that into the receiver unit. And the minute I do that, you'll notice the lights come on both modules. Right now, they're going through a power on self-test where they're testing the electronics internally to make sure everything is working okay. The transmitter's checking the resolution of my media source to make whatever adjustments are needed to send the best possible picture to the remote location. The remote receiver is also checking the resolution of the monitor, again, to let the transmitter know what type of resolution the monitor can display. And that takes a couple of seconds for all of that magic to happen and for the handshake to happen between the transmitter and the receiver. And there's the content. Now, if you'd like to use the infrared blasters, there's a set included for both the transmitter and the receiver. On the receiver end, you'll want to use the larger one and plug it into the infrared in port. And on the transmitter side, you'll use the smaller one and plug it into the infrared out port. And that will allow you to control the content from this remote site, again, up to 50 meters away of the content at the primary site. And it really is just that easy to get it working. I hope you found this overview of the EX-150C HDMI extension kit helpful. It really does provide a quick and easy way for you to share all of your HDMI media content with a second remote location up to 50 meters away in 4K resolution or 60 meters away in 1080p resolution over a single Cat6 LAN cable. The inclusion of the infrared blaster kits means that you'll have complete control over the content from that remote location, and the fact that it uses power over cable technology, which only requires a single power supply for the entire solution, will greatly simplify your wiring. Everything you need to get started is included with the kit, and with a few simple connections, you can be up and running in no time. So until next time, thanks again for watching.